Hello and welcome to yet another edition of the Hockey Republic. My good name is George Njuguna, and this guy who disappeared from us last week has shown up today.
And it's lucky that I'm back. Kwa hivyo kidogo nikose hata kushow up tena leo.
Yes.
Hello, Tukush, you seem to be losing you. Hello, Tukush. Hello, you're muted. You're muted, Tukush. Check your mic. Sorry, as Jugosh is trying to sort out his audio because we can't quite get to hear what he's saying. Make sure you post your comments in the comment section below. Any question, also post it in the comment section below, and we are going to highlight it. Mbona niko disoriented, ndio shida ya kuja umechelewa. Anyway, let's start with the league. The league kicked off last weekend. Jugush, are you there? Hello, Jugush. Yeah, the league kicked off last weekend with a couple of fixtures being played. I want to pull the results here. I hope you guys enjoyed the return of the league. It was amazing. Unfortunately, I was not around to watch the matches, but I hear Sunday was quite interesting. Most matches were on draws. Jugosh, are you there? Can you hear me? After such a long time, the league returned. We had a few fixtures being played over the weekend. And in the Premier League men, we had... let me see the results. Yeah, in the Premier League men, on Sunday, we had USIU playing Sailors. It went on for a 1-1 draw. Jugush, umerudi?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Stanley, now I can hear you. Hello?
Nimerudi, unanisikia?
Sasa nakusikia. Okay, as Jugos is settling down, in the Premier League, USIU played a 1-1 draw with Sailors. The Park Road versus Green Sharks match was cut short on Saturday due to our power outage. We seem to be struggling with the same issues still in 2022. I was hoping that we don't have similar issues come this year. In the Super League men, we have Simba, who played to a 1-1 draw. We have Simba, who played to a 1-1 draw against Park Road Tigers. Remember, Nairobi Sikh or Nairobi Simba were relegated for the Premier League, and now they are playing in the Super League. Park Road Tigers are in the Super League after being promoted from the National League. So they played to a 1-1 draw on Saturday. On Sunday, KCA beat Tuk Technical University of Kenya 2-0. We had JKUAT beating JKUAT drawing 1-1 with Wazalendo Masters. In the Premier League ladies, we had the following results. Let's see. Sailors and Wolverines played to a 0-0 draw, barren draw. And then you have perennial champions and defending champions, Blazers, who are playing away to Sliders. They won 3-0, a positive start for the Blazers. In the National League, we had quite an interesting result there. We had a stunner. We had Gorilla beating Daystar 1-0. I wish I could pull as we go along, I'll pull the post that Gorilla posted wakitishia Desta. It was quite interesting. Sijui kama wewe Njugushi ulipata kuiona. I'm going to pull it. I think it was a very nice banter. And then we had Karate being beaten. Yeah, sorry. Yes, Njugushi. Okay, amehang tena. Karate were beaten 5-1. That was one of the big results and stunners over the weekend. Remember, Impala are looking to go back to
It
the
is the
Super
kind
League.
of things that
Yes. Net yako leo Njugushi inatuangusha kweli. Let's go to the Super League women. In the Super League women, we had the following results. We had.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good.
Tutume pay bill number ya kubuy bundles ama tufanyaje?
No, today I'm using my phone and someone has just decided to call me constantly, so it keeps disconnecting.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, in the Super League women, we had Vikings being beaten by league debutants Nairobi Chapel. So Vikings lost 2-0 to Nairobi Chapel. And Njugushi, if you're there, shocking result. Didn't expect Vikings to lose to Nairobi Chapel, considering that Vikings have been playing in the league. Okay. Still having issues with his connection. So at home, what do you think? Do you think Nairobi Chapel, being the first time they are playing in the league, they beat a much experienced Vikings side? Because remember, Vikings have been in the league. So Njugush, you're back. The question, shock result for Vikings. Do you think that they were stunned? Remember, Nairobi Chapel, it was their first game ever in the league.
Yes, yes and a no, because as you had said, Vikings are a pretty seasoned team. They have been in the league for a very long time, but also I know because I got wind that they had really went out and read a few people. So we are seeing that. Yeah, they're pretty determined to get into the league and to prove their results. So we wait and see how they'll go with this result so far. But so far so good. That was a pretty good result to start with.
Yeah, and Pakro Tigers, remember they got promoted from National League, and Nairobi Simba or Sikh Union got relegated from the Premier League, and the match ended in a 1-1 draw. What does that say about the match? Is it because it's the first match of the season? Expected result, or did you expect more from Nairobi Sikh? Njugush seems to be struggling. I for those who don't know, I play for Pakro Tigers, and for me, I think it was a very amazing result to have that against an experienced team like Nairobi Simba. Going into that match, of course, Pakro Tigers were more or less like the underdogs, but that performance, that result was amazing. Both teams looked to have an edge over themselves. I didn't watch the match, but I got good reviews about it. Hopefully this weekend I can be available to watch the matches. But anyway, after 2 years, it was good to have the league back. It was good to see finally people getting to play league matches. And as Jugosh is settling down, also remember as the league kicks off, we have our very own prediction league. Jugosh, unajua prediction league ni nini? Jugush, come on. Hiyo net yako. You're muted, bro. You're muted. Hello, Njigush. We can still hear you. Um, as Njugush is also trying to sort out his issues. Unfortunately, he's still struggling. Let me see whether I can pull the prediction league here so that we can get to see what it is all about. So the league basically is a league where you get to get points. You get 3 points for predicting the correct score, and if you predict the exact score, you get 5 additional bonus points. Yeah, so it started off with the league. So all you need to do is to go to this website, predictionleague.hockeyke.com, get to register there and start predicting. All you just need to do is to look at the fixtures there. For example, you say USAU versus Strathmore, you feel that it might end up in a 2-2 draw. Wazalendo versus Kenya Police. Probably you feel that Wazalendo this time will beat Kenya Police, so you put in a 2-1 score. So you continue like that, placing bets, and at the end of the match week, we do accumulate the points, and we get to see who was the top predictor. As you can see there, we have the top 10 predictors of the week. Yeah, Matthew Moses got 17 points. Let me see whether I can pull his results much later. But ideally, that's the prediction league. Also, you can get all the results, highlights, results, fixtures, as well as league tables on the Hockey KE app. We just launched it today. We are going to do a whole campaign for it. But prediction league, get there, get started. Jugush, you're back
Yes,
or not?
yes, I am. I hope no one will call me again because I'm getting several calls.
Itabidi waambie waache.
Itabidi waache.
Yes, yes. So you
But
found
I
me
was,
talking about. Yep. Sorry.
yes. Before you say what you wanted to say, I got disconnected while I was talking about the Nairobi Chapter Ladies game against Vikings. Quite an interesting result there, considering Vikings are a seasoned team. I'm yet to find out, in terms of if they have recruited, have they lost any players in this transfer? But I got some information about the ladies team, and I hear they have really beefed up their squad. So that sort of didn't come as a surprise to me because they seem to have recruited very good players. So it's interesting, and let's watch and see how that Super League women will go.
Amazing. Now, coming back to
Yeah.
the prediction league, as I said, the way to play is you predict a score. If you get the match result correct, for example, you had predicted Team A to beat Team B. I have an example here of our top predictor of the week. Congratulations to Matthew Moses. As you can see here, he got 17 total points, bonus of 5. That is, he got one exact predicted score, and he's ranked the first out of the 21 players registered so far. So make sure you continue registering and playing. As you can see there, he had predicted Nairobi Simba to beat Park Road 3-1, 3-0. The result was 1-1. You can see all his predictions there. And where he got a bonus is where he predicted USIU 1, Sailors 1. So he got 5 extra points. So congratulations to Matthew Moses. Jugosh, do you remember who was the winner of our first prediction league season back in 2019? Can you remember?
Was it Matthew, if I'm not wrong?
No. It was this fella here, Kiprono Kibiwot.
Oh, what number is he now?
Saizi ako number 6.
Oh. I think what we
Yeah,
need to
but
do
atainuka
is
tu.
on THR we need to introduce Team Simon and Team Jugush so that we see which team gets to win a particular matches in a particular week. Now that I
I
know
think
we'll be
so.
getting into a lot. Now that we're getting into a lot of predictions in this new league, I think
Yeah.
we should form a team, and I know you can do that very well, so that we get to even give awards.
Yeah, true. Now
Yeah,
let's look at
yeah.
the upcoming fixtures there. So you
Mhm.
all you need to do, as I said, you go to predictionleague.hockeyke.com/upcoming-games. That is after you've registered and you start predicting. So, for example, you can say the match against say can end 2-2, and remember this is a very hot university derby. So you just need to predict like that. So you just let's say Wazalendo 2, Kenya Police 3, Parklands. So you unaendelea tu hivyo tu, and then at the end you click on save, and then you wait for the game week results. So now, Tugush, let's talk
Yes.
a bit about the season. I wasn't there for the preview. You hosted the champions
Mhm.
of the Parklands and Mulembe Hockey Festival, Western Jaguars. What do you think? Do you think that this is a team that we should have an eye on this season?
I I'm a bit hesitant. Yes, optimistic, but a bit hesitant also because playing for 15 minutes and playing for over
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
60 minutes is a totally different ball game. So
mm,
there's the issue of endurance. Yes, tactically, they seem
mm,
to have a very good game plan with them.
mm,
Both their teams that they have been registering, you can see a different let's wait and see how that goes in the new league because
mm,
that will really determine a lot of things.
mm,
Mm,
mm. Yeah, and
yeah.
let's look at one of the big fixtures coming up this weekend. And we have this fixture here. Let me pull up the fixture. We have last season's runners-up versus the third place team. Yeah, so let's look at the head-to-head. And remember this head-to-head. Hockey K started recording these fixtures since 2016. So Wazalendo have won twice against Police three times. Of course, home 1-1. Away, Police have the upper edge. So kama una predict, you know where to place your bet. Look at the total goals there. Wazalendo have been conceding a lot of goals against Police, 30 against 11. Is it something that Coach Kimanzi and his team, no, Coach Dij nowadays, because Kimanzi is with the national team.
Yes.
So does Coach Dij look at putting up a very strong defense behind, or attack is the best form of defense for him?
Being his first game, I'm really looking forward to seeing how he will break this cycle of results and if
Mm,
not win, but then at least reduce on the number of goals. And
mm,
I like to actually make reference to a game that was played last weekend. I think it was on Saturday, Sliders against Blazers.
mm,
At the beginning, you'd think that they would make their way and at least break that cycle and reduce the goals because the last time they played, it was the results were 2-0, but
mm,
at the end of the 60 minutes, that game ended 3 goals to 0. So I think for Dij, this is his biggest task here is to first of all reduce those number of goals. I'm not sure if they'll
mm,
be able to, win a game or even draw because we all know
mm,
Police and how they are so
mm.
determined this time round to get this league.
But remember, part of the goals were, as you can see, there a 16-2 result. You remember that
Mhm.
game was very controversial because Wazalendo stopped playing after some time. That is, they made a call about the referee not being
Fair.
fair, and then
Mhm.
they just stopped playing. So Police scored 16. So we can just say that part of this 30 goals, they've only conceded what, 14? 14 against
Mhm.
11 if we take away the 16 goals. But we look at the result, Wazalendo have won the last two times they've met. That is Sunday 1st December 2019 and Sunday 25th August 2019. So Wazalendo's the last two matches have won. So should they ride that bow and say, guys, we've won these two matches, we can win again?
Yeah, they can. I mean, what can really stop them? But again, this is police. They are really hungry to arrest someone, so they might decide. They might think that Wazalendo are the Boda Boda guys, so they'll go for them.
Nasty joke, nasty joke. Too soon, man. Too soon. Too soon. Too soon.
Si
Now,
banta zimeanza, wacha zikuje.
yeah, so what do you think should be the prediction for this match? Do you think what is your score prediction? Let's just state there.
Me, I go for a police win. Yeah.
Police win.
I don't know if you want me to say the goals. Yeah, but I go for a police win.
You can say the goals. You want us to start the prediction league, so you might as well state the goals.
Okay, I give it a 2-1.
Okay. Now, personally, I'll give it a draw. I'll give it a 2-2 draw. I think Wazalendo will want to start the season on a high. Police, of course, have been participating in tournaments here and then. I've watched them play. They have changed the way they are playing, and they seem to be more solid. And considering the fact that they missed out on the top two positions in 2019, they might want to come out strong. So both teams, I think it's a match that will be close to call. If there is a win, it will be a very narrow win. But for me, I'm going for a 2-2 draw.
Okay. 2-1, 2-2. I think they should let us know which are they for Team Juguna or Team Saimo.
Yeah. Team Juguna ama Team Saimo. Unajua sasa lazima tupeane hivyo, otherwise both of us are Juguna, so watashindwa which is which. Yeah. So now let's look at the fixtures for one of the fixtures for the Super League men, and we have Parklands playing against KCA University. Big fixture and ex-Premier League teams. What are your thoughts?
KCA, did they win this past weekend, or it was no?
Yeah,
I think
they
that
won.
was
They
Kusa.
beat Tuk 2-0.
Yes, they beat Tuk 2-0. Yeah, and they're also on a high on the other side of the Kusa League. So I think there's Coach Willis should be still going for another 6 points. But again, these are two sides which, as you said, ex-Premier League, and they're also physical in a way. So I think we expect a very physical game to start with, and also one match that possibility of getting a draw are very much high, because Parklands pulls surprises. So they might, and they usually pull surprises on big teams. So this will be one game that they can decide to go for.
You know why I'm laughing is because Parklands is a wild team. When you expect Parklands to lose, they win massive. They win big. When you expect them to win, somehow they disappoint. And it's interesting to see how they perform, considering that they have lost one or two of their key players to rivals. Remember that they have one of their key defenders joining Wazalendo. They have another player going to Simba. So it will be interesting to see how they set up. KCA, yes. Also, KCA, if you look at their track record, they have a way of starting a season strong. But along the way, I don't know what happens
They lose
to them.
Yeah.
Especially last season. When I say last season, I mean the 2019 season. They had a very good chance. They had a very good chance to go to the Premier League, but they dropped the ball somewhere, and MSC MSC and Vita got in the mix, and unfortunately, KCA did not go. So I hope they have recruited some new players because we know KCA had an aging squad. So I hope they have new players, new blood coming in. Because KCA is a team that's supposed to be in the Premier League. KCA teams like Parklands, KCA, Simba, um, even was a land of youth. Or yeah, they should be in the Premier League. Those are the teams that are enough to play in the Premier League, and let's hope this season we will have top competition. Because personally, if I'm asked Jugush, the most interesting league to watch and to
Mhm.
follow is the Super League men because all teams can be
Yeah.
beaten by any team.
Mhm.
All teams can be
And
beaten
the,
by any team.
and
So
and and the vice versa is true also.
yeah, and the vice versa is true. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting to see. Now, looking at the Premier League women, we have DFG who went to the Premier League, and they
Mhm.
got a tough match against um, Sailors, Amira Sailors, and the match went on
Mhm.
a nil-nil draw. What should we expect from DFG after that result? Is it something that they need to go back and say, okay, it's a draw? This is one of the top teams. Remember, Amira is ranked among the top four teams. How should we approach the next matches? Because I mean, they are going to meet teams like Strathmore, USIU, and Blazers.
Yeah, and remember they played in the finals against each other in the just concluded Parkland
Mm,
Sports Club. Yeah, and
mm,
so I think in a way they were sizing up each other.
mm,
And it will be a wait and see to see what Godi has up his sleeves, because I'm sure he's taking each game on its own, and I'm sure that this is one match is going into it with a lot of caution, of course, to get
mm,
3 points, because
mm,
again. It's
mm,
here is
mm,
you don't want to take your chances. There are those ones
mm.
who, of course, they know they'll be scoring as many goals, and they need to capitalize and ensure that they also cushion themselves. That goal difference might be something that might take them back where they used to be. So they have to make sure that they go back.
DFG, I have a soft spot for DFG, and I know you know why, and I know our fans know
Yes,
why
I
I have
know.
a soft spot for. Yeah, but DFG is I see it as a team that has potential to rival the likes of Blazers because they have the resources, they have the organization. All they just need is to tweak a few things here and there, and they can be a force to reckon with. Because other than if you remove the institution sides, they have the resources, they have even the money to sign key players. So it's a team that should be challenging for the season, in my opinion. But it's easy to say, it's easy to look at it on paper, but kwa ground vitu
Different.
who are different. So it's something that Godi and Dennis Owoka need to look at. Dennis Owoka, of course, we know he's among the few coaches to win the league, the men's league unbeaten. So he can give his experience there. So you look at the fixtures, Saturday 19th, they're going to be
But
hosted
remember,
by.
Simon,
Mhm.
Remember, Simon, Dennis has come from a men's league, and this is
Mm.
a ladies league, which is, I believe, a totally different ball game altogether.
But he has experience with Tunza. I mean, he's the director of coaching at Tunza, and Tunza uh, do coach girls, and I have seen him coach the ladies. I have seen how the Tunza team plays, and he does a very good job. So it's just a matter of organizing Wolverines to be able to match up against this team. As you can see, the fixtures there, they're going to be hosted by Strathmore and Blazers next. So they should be looking at that result against Sailors and saying, okay, fine, we got a nil-nil draw. It's the first game of the season. We played against them in the semis, in the finals of the Parklands tournament. They also played other teams in the league. So it's up for them to look at what they did wrong, what they need to do better, and go forward. now, as I said, if they lose these two matches, it's a tough task for them now to start saying tuanze kupiga zile hesabu za um,
Goal
we need to
difference.
build tunafaa hii team tunaweza chapa ile hatuwezi chapa
Mm.
and all that. But as I said, the size of Wolverines, it's a team that if matched up against Strathmore and Blazers, wanafaa wakiwapatia very difficult time. If it's not a win for them, for me, if I was asked, Wolverines should be looking for at worst a draw against these two teams, given the size
But
of
you
that
see,
club.
you can't. How can I put this? I was with Coach Senge on
Mm,
Saturday. Was it Saturday?
mm,
Yes, on
mm,
Saturday, and he's not taking anything to chance. He's
mm,
watching every game and every team. So, and I'm sure on Sunday, on Sunday he was there, watching how those two teams play. So, he has gone to his drawing board. I'm sure he has. Uh, Being a video coach for the national team has given him a few tidbits here and there. So he knows what he's getting himself into in this game on Saturday, or is it
mm.
Sunday? And so
Sunday,
he's
yeah.
coming with it.
But yeah,
Yeah, he's coming to it with all the ammunitions he can ever think of. So for him, I don't think a draw is something that is on his table.
yeah. But anyway,
Mm.
I know we know Coach Senge. I've worked with him a bit, and I know he's someone that, as you say, does not take anything to chance. I also know Deno is also very keen to set up his team to get a result. So it will be very good to watch this game. Although it's not this weekend, it's the next weekend, but it will be a very good game to watch. But Jugush, though, before we continue with the preview of the weekend and we move on to world news as well as the Birmingham Commonwealth Games, how do we sort this out? Look at those fixtures. Look at the gap. Look at the gap between their first game they played last weekend. Their next game is in 2 weeks. Then after that, their next game is in April. As a player, as a coach, how do you ensure consistency of play, attendance of training, and all that? Because this is an issue that has been there for a very long time, where you find one team plays one match today and stays for around a month or two before they play another game.
Yeah, I don't know how they're uh, going to sort it out, but Simon, we only have one pitch for now, so
Mm,
there's
mm,
nothing much that we can do about that, because
mm,
with all this a very huge league, but remember also, at least the national leagues, both for the men, has been separated
mm,
into two divisions. That is the Eastern Zone and the Western Zone. So at
mm,
least that loads off a few matches from City Park. And then I've also seen that the Premier League, the Super League men will be played. And even, I don't know, I'm not so sure about the women, because I
mm,
haven't seen that fixture very well. But the venues, especially. But for the men, at least they're being played at Strathmore University. So that's
mm,
a bit of a load off of them. I hope the next weekend, the next lot of fixtures, which will be released, we'll be able to see at least some consistency. But also, again, it's to give way for the trainings for the different uh, international fixtures that are coming up, because that's
mm.
one of the things. And remember the national, but at least for them, they're training during the week.
Mm, mm. Yeah, I know we've discussed this even with the top officials at KHU, and they've expressed their concerns regarding the same. And I hope it's something that logistically can be sorted out. Because moving forward, and Jugush, we've had this discussion with you also at a personal level, we need to have a look at how we can consistently get the best out of our players in terms of having them play week in, week out. If you talk to a lot of people, they tell you they'd rather have a 3-month season, but every
Mhm.
weekend they are playing. The other option is
to make sure that these logistic issues are sorted out, partner with those teams that have pitches. Let those fixtures be played there. But yet again, once you mention that, there's always the question of are teams playing in City Park going to be charged the same as teams who are going to play on Maram? So, as I said, the logistical issues. It's something we need to look into. And I keep saying this, we need to start looking at how we can change how we are running the leagues so that we can improve on performance. For example, assuming that Wolverines, and Deno is saying here there is much more to come from the team. It's a long season it is. So assuming Wolverines drew with Sailors 0-0 on Sunday, and then they are meeting Strathmore on Saturday, and then they meet Blazers the following week, or in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You will have seen a different performance from them, rather than them waiting for, let's say, 3 weeks to play. Of course, it's more entertaining. Assuming Wazalendo met Police next weekend, or this coming weekend. After that, they are going to meet Parkland. They are going to meet Park Road, which is a derby, and then after that, they are meeting Jaguars. You see, even the interest for the league will grow, but those are logistic issues that hopefully we can be able to sort out.
Yeah, that's true. Try and pull up. I think it's Sliders and even Blazers. If you can pull up the fixes for those two teams, because I'm seeing, at least in a quick glance, I have noticed that they Blazers are just lose. I think they are missing one weekend this coming weekend, and then that weekend of 20th they have games. So at least we are seeing consistency, at least for the ladies teams. But I know this is something that is going to probably, the union has said that it's been a concern for them, as you said, and I know they're going to look into it.
Yeah, they're going to look into it. As I said, it's more or less to do with logistic issues, and I understand the reasons as to why. I also think that teams, for example, universities like Strathmore, they are doing well to give that venue for games to be played. I do also hope that KCA with Barclays can provide a venue. Matches at Parklands can be played at Parklands, at Simba, so that we can have a full round of fixtures being played every game week. Personally, I would rather have a 3-month season. If not so, we can have a 2-month season and then a break and another 2-month season, so that we have that consistency in terms of playing. Now, let's look at other fixtures that are going to come up this weekend. Kidogo. Yeah,
And
we
even
have
as you
Impala.
as you pull that up on the screen, just an update also that the Green Sharks Park Road Badgers game is going to be played on Sunday. That game didn't finish. They had the last quarter to go. Very entertaining game it was. It was so sad to those Kenya Power issues interrupting that very beautiful game. And
tunafaa tuanzishe mchango ya generator sasa. Tunafaa tuanzishe mchango ya generator. Hii maneno, you know something, I saw unaona these Facebook memories, the Facebook memories that usually pop up. You know something funny? My Facebook memory from yesterday was, I said that it is the year 2019 and still matches are being postponed for power outage. And then I saw it yesterday. I was like, so history does repeat itself. So tunawanisha mchango. I think to set up a mchanga. We need to have those matches played. I miss those days where we used to watch matches even on Wednesday midweek. You remember the midweek matches on Wednesdays? Yeah. We need to have them back, so that mtu akitoka kwa ofisi, you can go to City Park and watch a game. You remember
Mhm.
that match that was live streamed by
Yes.
Mad Goat? It was also on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I've seen guys asking whether Hockey Kenya or Magongo can do the live stream of matches, but unfortunately, as of now, it's difficult to do. But we'll try as much as possible to see that we can be able to do so. But let's look at the one of the National League fixtures that is going to be played over the weekend, and then we can move on to the World Hockey News. We have Impala. This is a Gong Road derby. It's good to say that for the first time, but as a Kikuyu, it's a struggle to say Gong Road. Um, we have a Gong Road derby. So we have Impala who are playing
Yeah,
Nairobi
say
Chavez.
Gong Road.
Gong Road. So
Gong Road.
Impala, a very strong team, and remember these are more or less like partners, because we have some players. Okay, they do train more or less together. So who do you think is going to carry the day?
I don't know, because I hear even Chapel has the men's team rather has also beefed up their squad. So this could be more or less like a friendly game. I think it should have even been played at Impala grounds, so that we just they all feel at home and play from home. You you want me to give a prediction for it?
Yes.
1-1.
We need to find someone who will keep these predictions for us. As we've said, we want to
But the internet
participate in a
will. Why
prediction.
are you
Yeah.
struggling? The internet will do that.
Sawa. Sawa. So let's do this. Starting next week in the show, tutakuwa tunafanya our predictions live on show, and then now we tally the results much later. Personally, I'll go for Impala 3-0 win.
Wow. Okay.
I'll go for an Impala win based on their experience, and they still have a good squad. So I'll go for an Impala 3-0 win.
Okay. Next week we'll be here reviewing, so we'll go back to that.
But remember, who has a better record of predictions between you and me?
Do you have any evidence?
Weatherhead versus unakumbuka ile game ya Weatherhead versus Wananchi. I predicted a 2-2.
Wananchi.
Yes, I predicted a 2-2.
Yeah, that was an international match. And speaking of that, anyway, we are going to the world news, so we will get into that. So let's look at the other fixtures that you want us to highlight.
Yes. Now moving on quickly to the world news. In case you live under a rock or you are not aware, unajua tuliqualify Commonwealth. Watu wanajua Commonwealth ni nini kweli Njugush? What is Commonwealth? What are the Commonwealth Games?
The Commonwealth Games are basically, in layman's language or in a simple way of putting it, is countries that were colonized by the British, and so they form what we call a Commonwealth, and their Commonwealth Games are held every, I'm not so sure if it's 2 or 4 years. I stand corrected there. Yeah, and so we were given a wild card, and so the Kenyan ladies team is going to represent us in Commonwealth, and what someone is just pulling out right now is the fixtures and the pullings that Kenya has been pulled in. We are in Pool B. Simon, if you can read that, I can't see that far.
Yeah, we're in Pool B with Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and I thought South Africa were not attending, but sorry for that. Scotland and Kenya, that's our Pool B. In Pool A, we have England, India, Canada, Wales, and Ghana. And as you can see there, that's the full match schedule. We are going to post this on our socials as well, so that you can have a full view. So the matches will kick off kick off on Friday, 29th July. Our first fixture will be against New Zealand. New Zealand have a very strong squad, and this is a first for many playing for Kenya. Unfortunately, I don't have the stats of or the head-to-head statistics for Kenya and New Zealand. But Njugush, let's first look at the pool before we look at that fixture. We are up against some very, very strong teams there. Basically, ni kama walieka ranking. If you look at the first three, look at Australia,
Yeah,
New
that's
Zealand,
true.
and South Africa.
Yeah.
What are our chances there against the top three teams?
Tunaenda darasani, acha tu niseme hiyo.
At home, let's hear from the fans. What do you think are our chances against these three top teams? For me, this is good exposure because kupata opportunity ya kucheza against a team like Australia or New Zealand, it's a very big opportunity. And the good thing is that we do have time to prepare. So it's upon Jackie, and we've seen Jackie set up her team very well. We saw that in Ghana recently. And the young ladies are willing and ready to learn. So it's more or less for them to show that, yes, we can play against the top teams. It's one thing to go into a match saying you're going to lose. And it's another match going there and saying we actually have a chance. So it's more or less, how do they approach this tournament? Do they look at those teams and say, wow, hapa tuendeni tu tupande ndege tuende trip, or are we going to go there and show that actually we are a hockey nation and we can do something about it? Yeah,
I don't think for Jackie that is her course, because I had a chat with her and she said for her she's going the full hog. So as you said, it's exposure for this for the ladies, or the blades as we call them. And I know this chance having come, and it's the first time that the Kenyan women's team is being represented in the Commonwealth Games. It's going to be a very good chance to tell the world that there's some hockey being played in Africa, a country called Kenya, and it's not just going to be a walk in the park. I'm going to see what what Jackie has up her sleeves on this team. Yeah.
And let's review that. Let's just put Kenya kando kidogo tu, and let's just look at those top three teams on the list. We have Australia, New Zealand. That's a derby, a very hot derby, and then you have South Africa. Scotland, I've watched a bit of their matches. They're also a very good team, but I want us to focus on those top three. Who do you think will get the first slot to qualify for the next round?
It's a hard one considering the first two teams in that pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Yeah. I think Dennis should say this because he gave very good predictions during the Olympics when we were doing the predictions for that. I would love to hear his suggestion on those two teams, but for me, those top two, hard to say which one will go, or rather will top that pool. Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. Unfortunately, our time has run out. But before we leave, Jugush, you've come up with a very good website. I'm sure a lot of guys have seen it. It's more or less to do with local and international hockey news. Let me try to pull it up here so that we can talk a bit about it. So, this is your site. What happened to hockeykenya.com?
Let's just say it's time that I needed to do some rebranding. So it's been a while, and this is something I know even you've been challenging me on. So I took my time, went out, and decided to come back and just change a few things. So very soon, this whole thing will move away from Hockey Kenya to Hockey 254. All that is just in the process, and soon we're going to rebrand to a different outfit, and that is Hockey 254.
Yeah, as you can see there, a very nice website with very good hockey news. So you can go to hockey254.com for all the latest articles, news, reviews, as well as updates. And of course, Jugush is also covering Kusa there. And if you want to advertise on the site, talk to us at hockey254.com. Yeah, it's a very good site. For those who are not aware, and as I mentioned, we launched, although not officially, we did launch our app. I'm trying to pull it up. We also revamped our app. Tulikuwa tumekaa sana before revamping our app. So
Before sema tu ulikuwa umevaa nguo moja for a very long time.
yes. Tulikuwa unajua, hata tukiwa watoto ulikuwa unanunuliwa Sunday best, unataka kuivaa kila Sunday. So so as you can see there, the app has been revamped, so it has a new look and feel. As you can see there, Hockey 254 news are being pulled onto the site. You have league fixtures there with team logos as well. You can get sorry, that's the pool table. You can get fixtures and results, as well as match updates. So we are going to continue adding more features onto the app. So make sure you go to the Play Store, look for the Hockey KE app, and install it on your phone. It's a very, very light app. You don't need to use a lot of data bundles for it. And as you can see there, you can get all news aggregated for you. You don't need to go to Google and start looking for hockey news. All you just need to do is to download the app, go to the news page. As you can see there, you can scroll through all the news that we have aggregated for you. So you can get all the news in one location. So, Jugush, any last words as we end the show?
One thing, Simon, and this is our friends from Champara, Uganda. There's their tournament, or rather their league, is restarting next weekend. That is the week of 19th, 20th, or rather 20th, 21st, if I'm not wrong. But this weekend they have a memorial tournament to honor, their fallen players, those players who lost their lives, not necessarily to COVID, but other times. And so we're looking forward to just seeing them. A very interesting tournament that side, a what do you call it? A curtain raiser for the league that is coming up. So looking forward to that. And of course, we will be covering here on THR that league also. And of course, on Hockey 254, that is one thing that we're going to do that. So looking forward to interesting times and seasons in this league, because at least East Africa has woken up.
And I do think it's time for the federations to team up and come up with a competition or a league, some sort of a Champions League for the top teams. So to grow, having competition among ourselves can help us grow. We can decide to have our own East Africa club champs.
That's interesting.
It will be interesting. Personally, I'd prefer it so that we can have our teams also match up against each other. Tunaweza dharau our neighbors, but actually in the real sense they might beat us. So we need to have that.
They already proved it. Ask Barry. Barry yako na ushuhuda.
Yako na ushuhuda, hata aliachana na kazi ya production, ndio story tulimwingilia sana. it's good to be back. Hopefully, I'll be in and about. I've been traveling a lot, but it's good to be back on the show. Yeah, keep us up to date as well. It's good to see people texting us, messaging us, and telling us what's going on, especially kule mashinani. It's good to see hockey grow there. It's good to see all tournaments there, and I hope that one day we can be live on location in one of those tournaments and do a live show during a tournament. Before I forget, MCHA are holding the junior hockey fives. That is on the weekend of 19th March. So hopefully, Hockey KU will be there to also cover the matches and bring to you live matches. But as I said, hopefully, we're also seeing whether we can be able to get match highlights with Hockey Kenya and be showing them here on the show for analysis. We're also looking for pundits, analysts, as well as guests on our show. So if you're interested in becoming our guests on the show, please do DM us. You can even DM my page personally on Jugush, and we shall respond to you. Until next weekend, ladies and gentlemen, keep safe. Cheers and bye bye.